Quasi here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about blockages and how to solve blockages like fears, doubts, and other stuff that really blocks you from getting towards your goals. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you want to enter into a competition to win this book for free at the end of the week, just comment Life Mastery down below and we're going to pick a winner at the end of the week. The winner for this week, by the way, will be announced in the community post, so definitely keep updated with that. Also, I'm super excited to announce that there's still one spot available for the Reality Mastery program for this enrollment. And if you want to know how to get the free one-to-one consult right now, just wait till the end of the video for the announcement on how to get this consult. Now in this video, I want to talk to you about blockages. And I got a question in my group about how do you really solve blockages and fears, doubts, procrastination, all of these. How do you really solve them and help you move frictionlessly towards your goals? And to be honest, there's many things you can do, stuff like yoga, it's nothing that just happens instantaneously, but it's a continual process. How and whatever you're seeing around you right now is all a result of how you've lived your life up until this point. And it might be difficult to really accept this idea, but it is just what it is. Now, to really understand blockage at a more sort of macro level, a deeper level, really, it really is the projection of just artificial importance. And what does that mean, you might be wondering? Well, people have these goals and dreams, and what they do is they put too much importance on doing this and doing that in order to get to that goal. Or they put too much importance on the goal itself. So they put too much importance on either the process of achieving the goal, or they put too much process on the goal itself. When you put too much importance on it, what happens is you get fear and doubt of, oh no, am I going to achieve this? What if I don't? Etc., etc. Now, this is completely natural because our minds aren't conditioned to seeing this in our reality, and it's too focused on this current state of being in our current reality. So the mind can't really see past this certain sort of space of reality. It likes to project things that are fearful, and it's just how we've been conditioned because of the media, because of everything around us. We're always in a protection mode. And part of being conscious and being a creator of your reality is about just consciously choosing whatever attitude it is you want to and you need to in order to help get towards your goal. So breaking free from unconscious programming is a big part of mastering the law of attraction, mastering reality creation, using it in your life. And a lot of the times people encounter these blockages, quote unquote, because it is just your own artificial projection of importance. So whenever you put too much meaning on anything that's external to you, a goal, then it presents itself as an obstacle. So right now, your fears and your doubts are an obstacle that's hindering you from achieving your goal. And I've dealt with this myself. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 solutions that's really going to help get over this blockage. But before we get to that, I really want to explain this concept so to just hammer it in and really understand at a macro level why all of this stuff is happening. So first of all, the projection of artificial importance is a big factor that causes this. And now I want to ask you, do you think robots have fears and doubts? Think about a robot. You just program it with whatever it needs to do, and it just does it, and it does Y in order to get X. You program it with a process, it just conducts the process, and it achieves its goals. Why can't human beings be like that? It's also a good thing, by the way, that human beings aren't like that, because robots do not possess the power of consciousness. They can't really feel the emotions that we feel, and these emotions are the things that set us apart from robots. Our greatest strength, our dreams, our visions, our goals, our ability to formulate goals, our ability to consciously interpret things is what sets us apart from robots. Our consciousness is something very unique to humans. So this is what sets us apart from really lower forms of life. So if you look at robots, you can just program them with a certain information and they just they use intention, they just do the process and they achieve their goals. They don't possess emotion, they don't possess empowering emotion. So sometimes our greatest strength can become our greatest weakness. Now, it is just understanding how to keep our dark side in check so that the light side can perform, or just knowing how to channel your dark side so that you can come out on top and consciously do and achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. So really, our greatest strength, our emotions, can sometimes be a weakness because of this artificial importance that we project. When we project this artificial importance, we start focusing on things that we don't necessarily need and we shouldn't focus on because it's not helping us towards our goals. It's like you want to become a professional athlete, but you're just addicted to drugs. You want to become a professional moneymaker or attract your dream partner or whatever it is you want to achieve in your life, but you're just addicted to these negative thoughts because they just keep running around and you keep focusing on them and you keep propagating them, and these blockages, they just grow and grow and grow because you keep focusing on them. Whatever you focus on will grow more and more. So now going back to the concept of the mind, it can't really see past a certain time frame. So the mind just sees the state of the current reality and it's like, oh, well, this is how my reality is. I can't see how it would change to me making $1 million. Like, how is that supposed to happen? How the hell is that supposed to happen? So the mind can't really see anything past a certain point. But also, another thing to understand is that conditioning we talked about, the mind is conditioned to always be pessimistic because of the media, because of people around you, because of how you've lived your life until this point. There are some people who are optimists who can only see the bright side of things and can project futures where they are millionaires, billionaires, and they actually go on to achieve those things because there is that dream and that hope in the first place, and there isn't much fear or doubt stopping them. There isn't much blockage stopping them. So a lot of people can do that, but because we have been conditioned in a certain way, some of us have been conditioned, actually most of us have been conditioned, I myself had been conditioned in that way, where people were just like, oh, you can't do that because no one else has done that. What? Other people aren't doing this, how can you do this? Well, no one said that, achieving excellence was going to be commonplace. Because if it were, then everyone would be achieving excellence. And everyone would be encouraging others to achieve excellence. But really, this is what society is going towards right now. If you look at how society has evolved over time, people are going more and more towards optimism. And, that's another deeper yogic concept of why an era is ending. A yuga is how it's referred to in yoga. So what a yuga is basically a period of time, an era, where you experience a certain level of consciousness. So right now, we are just getting over what is known as Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the age of darkness. Kali actually translates to darkness. The era of darkness is where mankind was at its lowest level of consciousness, and that's why avatars such as the Buddha, such as Jesus Christ, they all came in the Kali Yuga. And this all again cycles round and round, but I don't want to get into that because that's another esoteric concept. But instead what I'm going to talk about is how mankind is evolving to more and more conscious states because of YouTube people sharing stuff that raises consciousness, and it's an amazing thing that people are doing this. But essentially the mind is just always conditioned to focus on the negatives and project fear because it doesn't want to lose anything. And this is our biological programming up until this point. So it is up to us to change this through conditioning positive and cultivating positivity in our lives. So really, without proof at first, the mind is reluctant to believe anything. Think about it this way. If you don't have proof of you being a millionaire, it's going to be very difficult to convince yourself that you are a millionaire and act as if. So without proof, the mind just does not want to believe anything. You can affirm all you like, but if you're not experiencing it, there's no way to believe it. And that's where visualizing comes in. So why visualization works is because the mind can't actually discern between what's visualized and what's reality. What's not reality and what's reality. So if I think there were studies conducted on this, and they showed that the mind really can't discern between what's dream and what's reality. So this is actually why visualization works so effectively. So now what I'm going to do is share with you the 3 solutions that help you get rid of any blockage that you'll encounter inevitably in your life. So first of all, this leads us to our projection of artificial importance. See things for what they are. Really just begin to see things for what they really are. Like, how important is your goal to you and why is it so important? Do you see that all your fears and doubts are coming up because you have put too much importance on achieving and attaining something? You have put too much importance on doing this so you can get that. Some days I feel a lot of importance to wake up at 5:30, sit at my desk at 7 and begin work until X time, and then, just stay fully focused and keep doing this, and I just start to force myself to do this. So there is this projection of artificial importance because the mind just believes that, okay, I need to do this in order to get to that. But that's not true, because we know that two people can do the exact same thing and get completely different results, right? So it's not really about the taking action, but there's a more deeper, more powerful force at play. And that is the concept of outer intention. And if you don't know what outer intention is, definitely click up here. I'm not going to go deeper into that now because it's not too relevant to this video. So again, understanding blockages, know and see it for what it is. Solution number one is to see it really for what it is. It is just a projection of artificial importance. If you can begin to identify something first, more than half the work is done. If you just see it as, look, I'm just attributing too much meaning to this. Okay, how can I consciously reduce this meaning? Maybe I can focus my attention on something else. Maybe I can just say to myself, maybe this really isn't that important. Like, what's going to happen? What's the worst case scenario if I don't achieve this? And if you want to know how to reduce importance, click up here. I've made videos on that. And now, what I want to talk to you about is the concept of visualization. So previously I mentioned that the mind can't discern between what's reality and what's visualized. And this is why visualizing and experiencing with full, rich feelings, whatever it is you would like to experience every single day in a systematic manner, is so, so key. I remember when I first started with all of this, I was visualizing myself at my ultimate goal, my final destination. I saw myself like on top of a very beautiful mountain next to the woman of my dreams. She's blonde, kind of like the girl I'm dating right now, Bridget. And I kept visualizing that for a year. And I just didn't know how I would get to that. I always had doubts and fears. I was like, whenever I would visualize, I'd be like, oh my God, what if I don't achieve this? And I was like, where is this feeling coming from? Why am I feeling this way? But regardless of that, I just kept focusing on the good feelings of that vision. And I started amplifying those. And I kept visualizing this target slide. And as I kept doing that, what happened was a few months later, I met the exact goal that I started visualizing. And I was able to quit my 9-to-5, and all of this started coming into place. Now, it wasn't solely because of the visualizing, but it played a big part in it as well. As you keep visualizing, it starts to begin as a doubt and a fear. I started visualizing myself doing what I love and what I'm passionate about and quitting my 9-to-5 and working from home. That's exactly what happened. At first, I couldn't believe it. At first, I was like, oh my God, what if I don't make enough money? When I started visualizing and I saw myself at my desk, I'm like, oh no, what if it consumes too much time, et cetera, et cetera? What if this happens? What if that happens? The mind just starts to project things. But just learn to see what's really happening. And that leads us to step one, which is seeing this as an importance projection. This is just artificial importance that I'm projecting. It's not real. Like, nothing in reality ever has a positive or a negative charge. It's all neutral. All events are neutral. Everything that's going on is neutral. We just attach our own meaning to it and create our realities as a result. So learning to see the mind and what it's doing and observing the mind and its thoughts was very, very key. Because now I was able to just detach from those thoughts and say, this is what's happening, and just focus on the good feelings that I'm feeling when I'm visualizing. You see what I mean? So what I ask you to do is keep visualizing, even though you might feel doubts. Just visualize that target slide, the final slide that you would like to live in. And again, a slide is one picture or one frame. You can run multiple slides. You can run it like a little movie scene, but just keep running it over and over and focus on those good feelings that you would feel. I have changed my slides. It's not that I haven't changed it, but maybe I've made it part of a bigger picture of what I want my life to look like. So I've added different situations of me in different places in my life just to focus on that feeling and keeping that feeling rich. Because if you just keep running one slide over and over, eventually the feelings are going to die out and it's not going to be sincere anymore. Just like using one affirmation over and over and it just becomes mindless. So you want to keep it fresh, change it up, and just keep the emotion alive. It's the feeling that'll help propel you towards that goal. Because when your mind and your heart come together, that's when we activate what I mentioned before, which is outer intention. And outer intention is more powerful than just taking action, because outer intention is the force that supposedly made the pyramids move. And if you want to learn more about outer intention, I suggest checking out a book called Reality Transurfing if you haven't already. It's a Great book by a Russian quantum physicist called Vadim Zeland. And in this book, he talks about just a general model of viewing reality and how the events occur in it. So, not to ramble, but going back to visualizing, keep visualizing even though you might feel doubts at first. Learn to ignore the doubts and just focus on the good feelings when you're visualizing. That's really it. That's super important. Most people visualize and then give up because they're like, oh God, I don't know how I'm going to get to this. You're not supposed to know. At first, I visualized myself with my dream girl on the cliff, and I thought, this is impossible. It's not going to happen. And I went from that to feeling like, oh wait, I'm actually getting very, very close to this. Like, this could happen. Do you see the difference? Over time, this becomes more and more a part of your reality, and it starts to fit the mold of your reality. Because I'm conditioning my mind more and more as I visualize, because the mind can't discern between what's reality and what's not. I'm just experiencing this in my mind. For all my mind knows, this is real. Whatever I'm visualizing is completely real, and it keeps happening every time I turn that picture in my head. So make sure you are visualizing the target slide, because this is key. Finally, why most people deal with lots of doubts in the first place and lots of fears in the first place is because the focus and the attention is too much in here. They're too focused on themselves and the end goal. I said to visualize the target slide, but not to get attached to the end goal. When you're focused too much on the end goal, something that's really, really far away from you and not supposedly attainable right now, you just keep running doubts in your mind and fears come up naturally because you're here and your end goal is like way over there. So what we want to do is just take little steps every single day. And that brings me back to the process visualization. And what that means is you just visualize the process and you focus on taking action, because action will dissipate any sort of doubt and fear you have. Action has the power to dissipate any sort of artificial importance that you've projected, because it is with the energy of action that all of this blocked energy really transmutes itself. In action, in purified action, when you just don't even think about anything, you just get fully immersed in the process, you will see you'll no longer be thinking doubts and any sort of those thoughts. There will be no more blockages because now the energy of intention, the energy of action is activated, and you just propel yourself to move yourself more and more towards your goals every single day. So again, this is where process visualization comes in. If you don't know what this is, click up here for a guide on reality transurfing visualization. Essentially, this is visualizing the end goal and also visualizing the process, because no matter how much you visualize the end goal, it's going to be difficult to move towards it. Even though it's going to help once you start connecting to the feelings, it's going to get difficult to move towards it if you don't see yourself doing something every single day. So the process visualization helps you propel yourself now in this current frame. The goal target visualization helps you get ideas, because once you start connecting to that, ideas start coming to you on what to do, what action to take. So really shift your focus from me, and end goal, to process. Just do. Forget about me for 1 second. Forget about the end goal for 1 second. Let's just sit down and let's just do this. This is fun. Just get fully immersed in the process. And with that, that'll really help in energizing your intention. And on top of that, overcome any sort of blockage you've been going through. So to just recap, understand that any blockage is just a projection of artificial importance on your part. You're putting too much meaning on anything that's external to you, any sort of goals you have. There is too much meaning to that. Second, look at a robot. If you program a robot, would there be any fears or doubts? Learn to program your character like you would program a robot, and learn to know when it is you need to experience these emotions when you're visualizing. And understand that your greatest strength can become your greatest weakness very, very quickly if you don't know how to control your dark side. Finally, remember that your mind can't discern between what's reality and what's not. If you keep visualizing and experiencing with rich feelings anything that you want to experience, it will eventually become your reality. And this leads me to my 3 solutions, which is, first of all, learn to see a blockage for what it is. There is a heightened importance to something in your life. Like all of these YouTube gurus, they'll try to convince you that you have some sort of blockage, but that's not really true. It's just you have some sort of importance projected onto something. Maybe there could be blockage when there is inner importance, and we will talk more about that later, but in general, it is just you putting too much meaning onto something. That's just it. Next, learn to visualize the target slide and what it is you would like to experience. Remember that the mind can't really see past this current reality and always likes to project negative and fearful thoughts because it's in a protective mode. So always try to visualize that final slide you would like to experience and get into the feeling mode of it. And this will eventually make that a part of your reality. Finally, focus not on yourself, not on the end goal, but rather on the process of achieving that goal, on taking action. Focus on getting fully immersed in the process. Don't focus on the result, focus on the process. Don't become results-oriented, become process-oriented. And this was a big shift for me because when I started just taking action without needing anything from reality, I just said, okay, I'm just going to enjoy doing this. I'm just going to enjoy doing. I'm just going to enjoy getting the process. Results started coming in. Result is just an indicator of the process being conducted correctly and the right process being conducted correctly. So with that, I conclude this video and I sincerely hope this helped. And I hope you now have a better understanding of why blockages occur and what blockages really are and how to see them for what they truly are and really the 3 solutions there are to getting rid of any sort of blockage. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend so they may benefit as well. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified of any new video that I put out. Videos usually go up on every day at 1 p.m. So definitely tune in for those. And also, I'm excited to announce that I'm growing a massive Facebook group where I'll be sharing all of this kind of stuff. And we have a great group of great members and all of these great questions, content that I'm creating is all coming from that group where people are contributing amazing value. So make sure you click on the link in the description below to join the group. And I hope I see you there to also interact with you on a personal level. And also, I'm super excited to announce there is just one spot available for the Reality Mastery Program. And if you didn't know what the Reality Mastery Program is, it's essentially the most powerful paradigm of manifestation. See, what I found in my personal life was that I was able to achieve anything in my life once I started shifting myself at the core, at the identity level. And once I started shifting myself at the identity level and I became the version of myself that is fit, really experience that reality, as a result, I experienced that reality. It was as simple as that. When I became the attractive version of myself, I got my dream partner. When I became the entrepreneur version of myself, I was able to quit my 9-to-5 and take my passion full time. And I know all of this is possible for you as well because I've helped my clients do the exact same. If you're dealing with uncertainty in your life and you're dealing with getting stuck and it feels like Groundhog Day every day, make sure you work on shifting yourself at the identity level. And if you're interested, the Reality Mastery Program is exactly what that does. So make sure you take advantage of the free one-to-one consult that I'm still offering for a limited time only. Click on the link in the description below to sign up for that, and I hope I see you there. Till next time, peace.